Hello and welcome to Unfocused, our silly feeble attempt at a web series. With me this week is Kramik and Rabid Gorilla, and this week's topic is sci-fi. I guess the question that would have to start it off would totally be Star Trek or Star Wars. Which is your favorite and why?
Star Wars, because they had lightsabers and the Force.
No, I don't know. Those are good points, but it's Star Trek.
See,
You shut your filthy mouth.
no, see, I would personally have to go with Star Trek. And the reason for Star Trek, I think it's just a more interesting, I don't know, a more interesting storylines and more interesting races, stuff like that, that make it, I guess, more believable. I mean, this is stuff that could happen a couple hundred years from now, you know, whereas Star Wars is like, I have magic.
Have you read the books?
No.
Well, see, I see both as, like, kind of balanced out, but what nails the Star Trek more for me is it's our galaxy.
Yeah.
Actually get to see Earth, not
Well,
some
see-
galaxy far, far away.
But see, that's kind of my thought on it. Is it's like this is something like Star Trek is something that's almost plausible. Like a couple hundred years from now, this could happen. You know, once humans develop warp technology or what have you. I mean, that's something that could happen, and it's kind of grounded in a level of realism. Whereas Star Wars is more like, yes, you can have a lightsaber, which is epically cool. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's definitely a little more far-fetched in the sci-fi department. Plus, it has Gungans and annoying things like Jar Jar.
Yeah,
So, I mean-
but you take away the annoying things, and if you think about how evolution works, technically Star Wars is plausible. Like,
Well,
somewhere
you-
far away, people could evolve with, like, telekinesis and shit.
midichlorians. You're going to be one with the Force.
Not necessarily the Force. I just mean, like, super mind powers. Like physically lifting things with your mind. Not
you-
necessarily the Force.
I suggest you start working on that, and you let us know your progress in about a week or so. All right.
I bet he has an
Hey.
aneurysm before he lifts anything with his mind.
He doesn't
I-
lift anything physically. He's such a lazy bastard.
I take offense to both of those. I've been trying to develop my mind-killing powers, but it doesn't work. Most I've done is give someone a headache.
Well, the other thing
Yeah, I
is,
call bullshit on that.
well, you hear him talking right now. If we let him keep going, then we're all going to have a headache. So technically, he's correct.
I'll just tune him out like I do my wife.
Oh, jeez. Well, see, now, here's the thing, you know, and now let's talk about, like, the sci-fi movies, all right? Star Wars versus Star Trek. I would say the original Star Wars trilogy probably beats most of the Star Trek movies that are out there. Not Wrath of Khan, though. That is, like, the number one sci-fi movie ever. I don't care what anybody says.
See, you haven't seen Into Darkness yet, though, have you?
I have not, and I
See-
know most of the plot line for it, and it's kind of the same thing as Wrath of Khan, just modern.
Yeah, but
Which, to me, I still
it's
think
the guy
the original.
The original was fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the guy they had playing Khan was just phenomenal.
Yeah, but
Spoilers. Take it easy.
He already knew.
I already knew.
No, I've seen the movie. That's why I'm like trying to be very quiet about it so that I don't give anything away. I actually enjoyed
Everybody
it.
knew the villain was Khan.
Everybody knew, and pretty much if you're on the internet or you're watching anything that we have on here, you're probably a sci-fi nerd anyways. And if you haven't seen it, well, you kind of know who the villain is anyways if you're a Star Trek fan. But if you haven't and Kramik just spoiled it for you, well, send your hate mail to kramik@unfair.co and whatever.
I'll never see it, don't worry about it.
No, we go through.
Somebody doesn't check his email.
Yeah, we go through deleting
No,
that stuff.
no.
Anyways, but see, like, even the movies. I could watch Star Trek movies over and over and over again
So can I.
without an issue. Star Wars, I get burned out fast. Like, watching those, you can't even make it through all of them. Like, I don't know. From like Wrath of Khan up through all of the original series movies, so up through Star Trek 6, I could actually watch those in order, in series, and not get bored. Whereas Star Wars, let's say I started episode 1, that's mistake number 1, but let's just say I do that. About halfway through that movie, I'm done. I'm ready to move on to like something else on Netflix, man.
It's not even Netflix. If I'm like flipping through TV while waiting for people to be done with something so we can do something, and there's a Star Trek movie on, you're not getting me on this computer for at least a good hour and a half.
Yeah, you tend to get lost in that.
But if it's a Star Wars movie, it's like, oh, this part, I'm done.
But see, that's what's so funny.
That's where I'm the opposite. I can sit and watch the original trilogy over and over and over again. But the prequel trilogy, no, I can't do that. I can sit through episodes 2 and 3. I struggle to sit through 1.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I look at it like I like Star Trek better, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, especially since we actively play a Star Wars-based game, and we don't even touch the Star Trek MMO rather that's out there. But
hey, we did.
We did, and I can bring this up too. There has never been a good Star Trek video game ever. I mean, there really have been mediocre things at best, but there has never truly been a good Star Trek game ever. And with such a powerful IP, with so much that they can work with, how can they fail in making an MMO or anything? You know, the last Star Trek game we played, which there is a playlist on our channel for it, which I encourage everybody to watch if you're curious, but it sucked. I mean, it royally sucked.
And I'm a guy who's cup full. It was terrible.
It was probably the worst game we've ever played in recent memory. And that's saying something, because we've played a lot of garbage. I mean, we have a War Z playlist that's like 10 miles long.
What did make Star Trek Online good, though, is the combat music. Like, you get some, like, epic music in that.
Yeah, well, the dialogue. The dialogue in that game was good, too. So, I mean, they had that, but the gameplay, absolute trash. The story, trash. Everything about it from a technical standpoint, trash. The personality they injected into it with the actual voice actors and the dialogue was pretty good. The standard movie score and music, also good, because that music is good. But game, trash. Star Wars, on the other hand, has had a really good run on video games. And I don't care what anybody says about the Old Republic. You know, it's maybe not the game everybody expected it to be, but it's still a damn good game for what it is and what BioWare did with it. Should it have been not an MMO, but maybe like a co-op, you know, RPG type of thing? Probably. They spent too much trying to make it an MMO when it really shouldn't have been. But that should have been Knights of the Old Republic 3 and Bring a Friend. But with that, I mean, you've got the old X-Wing games from forever ago. Battlefront. Star Wars has a really good track record of good video games, whereas Star Trek has none.
I think I remember reading somewhere that somebody's making another Battlefront.
EA,
yeah, it's coming out.
EA now has the rights to everything Star Wars in the video game realm, which is both scary and, well, scary. Because God only knows what they'll do with it.
I want to see what Disney's going to do with the movies.
Well,
that's going to be very interesting, especially since J.J. Abrams, the director of the first two, the newest Star Trek movies, is signed on to direct the next Star Wars film.
Yeah, Disney owns a lot of stuff. So they own, like, I think it's Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And none of those movies were terrible.
Actually, we're going to completely get off topic here. Have either of you guys played Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you remember Kingdom Hearts was kind of the Final Fantasy Disney mashup, right? Now figure that the last game they made was how many years ago? Since then, Disney has acquired both Marvel and Star Wars. So could you imagine if they take those licenses into a Kingdom Hearts game?
Oh, God.
I would actually finish it instead of just starting and playing for 2 hours and never touching it again.
But see, just imagine how that could go. I mean, God, that'd be amazing.
If I could roll with Captain America and Luke Skywalker and go take on Darth Vader and
Jafar.
Magneto, that would be awesome.
Screw that. You got to fit in some Disney things. Jafar, the best villain of all time.
Oh,
I don't
fuck
know
that
if-
dude. He gives me
I
the
don't know if
willies.
Jafar's the best villain. He was good.
Jafar is the best villain because Aladdin was probably one of the better Disney movies of all time. Everybody will always say, oh, it was Lion King. Lion King was the height of Disney. That is true. They never had a success like Lion King, anything after that, but I still think Aladdin was there. I mean, that's my favorite Disney movie.
See, I can't even remember the name of the villain in The Lion King.
Scar?
Scar.
Okay.
Well,
Been a
have
long
you seen
time
Toy
since I've
Story
seen
3? That Lots of Love Bear. He's a pretty big dick.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking
was this
animated
Disney?
Disney movies. See, how the hell do we... See, now we've gone from sci-fi to Disney movies. This is epic. And we're standing in the game Defiance, and we haven't even touched on that subject yet.
Because Disney now has a hand in sci-fi.
Yeah, Disney has a hand in everything.
Oh yeah, Disney owns like just whatever.
Pretty sure Disney has their hand in me.
That's dirty.
Yeah, well, no, I say that just on account that I have a daughter, and she loves the crap out of everything Disney. She went and saw Monsters University today, and I know I'm going to end up buying a bunch of Monsters University crap.
Yeah. That's another good movie, though. Monsters, Inc.
Here's mind control in process.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
how
so
old is your
looking
daughter?
forward. She is 3.5.
3.5 years old. Yeah.
I am just wrapped right around her little finger.
I guess it'll only get worse. I don't have any kids, so I don't know. But yeah, I would not want a girl. That's all I do know.
Yeah. If I had a girl, I think I'd be fine till she hit about 12, and then I'd be that asshole father nobody wants to talk to.
Every dad says that, but it hardly ever happens. Yeah, I tell you, being a parent is it's the coolest and scariest thing that you'll ever do. But then you end up buying all kinds of shit that you don't need just because your kids want it and you want your kids to be happy.
See, if I had a kid, I would just get it an iPad and be like, here you go, shut up, go sit over there. Like,
Got a Kindle Fire. I tried doing that with my daughter. Nope, she'll play games on there for 10, 15 minutes by herself, and then no, she wants me to do stuff with her. She wants to go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. We'd go broke if we took her to Chuck E. Cheese every time she wanted to go.
Dude, that was your first mistake. You took her there once. Don't do that.
It wasn't my fault. It was my nephew's birthday.
Deprive your child of those experiences, then they'll never know what they're missing, you see? Okay,
And
better yet, I should not be a parent. That just sounds terrible.
And you gotta start the good music early on, so all they listen to is the good stuff instead of this newer shit.
I don't even know a new music artist anymore.
Neither do I.
Like, what's
I don't
popular
really
on the
either.
radio today?
All I hear about is this Justin Bieber kid and the Nicki Minaj chick. You know, the other day I was driving in the car with my daughter. I was listening to the local rock station. Commercials came on. I'm like, all right, I don't want to listen to commercials. I start cycling through the radio stations. Every one that's got a song on, my daughter says she doesn't like it until we find a rock station, and that's what she wants to listen to. I was like, yes.
There you go. That's at least a victory. But speaking of, we have issues with Kramik at times where he talks about the superiority of Canadians. Isn't that Justin Bieber, little cunt, a Canadian?
Yeah, it is. Thanks a
Well,
lot, Kramik.
there you
take
go.
his punk ass back.
There you go. Anything that you've ever tried to prove that
hey.
Canadian is good for, or that any Canadian is good for, that kid just invalidates all of it. I've never heard a single song.
It's like
or
Celine
anything.
Dion. Once they're out of Canada, they're your problem.
They still claim to be Canadians, which then just shines a bad light on you.
Yeah, well, you remember that whole conversation the other day about what makes a Canadian a Canadian?
Oh,
What
my
they
God.
are doesn't.
Okay, what makes a Canadian a Canadian? All we got to was you were talking about how Canadians burned down the White House, and that didn't happen. The British burned down the White House. And we're not even going to diverge into history right now, because we will start arguing, and it's just, fucking history is history. It's called
we've already
history for a
diverged into
reason.
music.
No, it's called history for a reason, because it happened then, and no. Anyways, we are moving on.
Yeah, let's get back on topic here. We're in the game Defiance. let's talk about the show.
Well, I have not been keeping up with it because I just haven't really had much of a chance. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and I know that they're a lot further on.
I've watched like half an episode.
The most recent episode, I believe, was episode 9. It's pretty good. I actually enjoy the show. I look forward to Mondays when I get to, Tuesdays is actually when I get to watch it because I record it and then I watch it.
See, I was trying to keep up on Continuum because I was enjoying that show, but then I just got sidetracked.
Yeah. I stopped watching TV after Game of Thrones was over.
Oh my god. Hey, that's kind of science fiction-y, isn't it? They got dragons and shit.
I guess so. That's more fantasy, but it's the same basic thing.
See, I've been watching Warehouse 13. I enjoy that.
I don't even know what that is. But see, the one thing in science fiction that we didn't touch on, Doctor Who.
That's because it's superior to everything.
Not necessarily.
I am not a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan.
Oh shit! There's gonna be some Canadian.
So, which seasons have you watched?
I tried to watch whatever the most recent one was with this young guy, but I couldn't get into it.
Dude, yeah, the new doc. Well, he's not new anymore. He's the outgoing doctor. You
can't just jump into it.
No. Luckily, he's the outgoing doctor. I never liked Matt Smith as the doctor. Now, I know I'm going to catch hell for that one, too. But David Tennant...
You're just prejudiced.
I am prejudiced because David Tennant was a fucking phenomenal doctor.
He was.
Matt Smith, not so much. I mean, I guess he had a goofy kind of quality to him, but I don't like that. I liked the more serious, yet mildly goofy David Tennant.
He does have his serious moments. You just never made it that far.
No, I've never seen him. And if it takes 2.5 seasons or however the hell many seasons I've watched to get up to a good part, I'm not going to stick around. Like, I watched as much as I could, and I just cannot get into it. Like, the David Tennant episodes, man, I was losing days of work watching that crap. Like, straight on through. Episode after episode after episode. The new stuff, I have to force myself to watch. I cannot even get through an entire episode without, like, losing interest.
I can watch any Doctor Who. No
problems.
See,
I watched, 3 episodes, and I was just like, I can't do this. I'm bored already, and it's been 5 minutes.
That's because you're jumping in, like, who knows what episode, and you can't... The episode's linked. So if
it was episode 1 where I started.
Like, did you start on Netflix or something? Like,
well, we're not going to talk about how I started, but we'll say that I started at the beginning of a season on episode 1 where there was some doctor dude who was on his way out and the other guy was on his way in.
Okay, yeah, that was from Tennant to the new guy.
So you got to start a couple seasons prior to that.
With the, custard and fish fingers thing? Was that episode? I do remember that.
Fish fingers and custard.
Yeah.
But no, you gotta start with, I can't remember the name of the episode.
I don't know, there's mannequins were coming alive and some kind of plastic shit. That's the one I watched.
No, you're way back, like, before even David Tennant. Who was that guy's name? I forget. Last name again with an E, didn't it?
Christopher Eccleston?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe.
All I know is the guy who played the doctor, I've seen him in several movies. I like him as an actor. I just didn't care for that show.
No. My suggestion would be skip a season or series or whatever the hell they call them in BBC terms.
Season.
Yeah, okay. Skip ahead. Like, skip him and go to where the doctor is David Tennant. That's good stuff. But, yeah. But now, Matt Smith, I mean, that's a pretty short run for him at this point. So I wonder if he's going to replace him. Yeah, that's a short run.
David Tennant was only technically 4.
He had 3
seasons, then a bunch of specials, and that was it.
Oh, really? He seemed like he was longer than that.
No.
Well, I wonder who they're going to get it with now. See, people are saying that this time they may actually make the Doctor a female, which could happen, I mean, I guess, but...
It could. in one of the episodes, he talks about another Time Lord who was a woman in one of his reincarnations.
Yeah, there was a
happens.
rumor floating around on in the Twitter sphere that Ricky Gervais had a possibility of being the next Doctor, but
No.
God,
I don't
no.
know what
That
might have
would
just been a
not work.
rumor. But I would actually probably watch that if Ricky Gervais were the
BBC
Doctor.
is not that kind of.
No, that would not work. I don't really care for the way that the show has gone in recent years, but I know that for fact will not work. No, what they need is Jason Statham. The Doctor now kicks the shit out of everybody while driving fast cars.
No longer has a sonic screwdriver. He just starts whipping ass.
Pretty much. That's my vote. So
Yeah,
if they
I
actually
would
put a
watch that.
vote, if they put
It's
a
got
vote out
a
to the
sonic
internet,
steering wheel.
yeah, pretty much.
He's got sonic fists. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that dude is like a registered weapon of some kind, isn't he? He's like insane. Or The Rock.
I don't know.
There we
He
go.
is badass. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it if Dwayne Johnson was the Doctor.
No, that'd be the companion of Jason Statham.
I would definitely watch that.
Oh God.
They're
Throwing
not
down some
romantically
rock
involved,
bottoms
of
in
course.
people's elbows and whatnot on
They
Daleks
would-
or whatever. Hell's yeah.
They would just walk around like smashing Cybermen face.
Yeah, but that would probably be the best show on TV. I would watch it, and so would just about everybody else.
Slow motion action scene of a fight with Cybermen.
Yeah, I
That
would
would
watch
be
that. Yeah.
fantastic. I would watch that. Yeah. All right. So to address the people who may have made it this far into this video here, we have some questions. Obviously, we've touched on a few subjects: Star Wars versus Star Trek. Star Trek is the winner. Anyways,
Screw you guys.
yeah, you're outnumbered, buddy. Something Doctor Who. Like what? I don't know. Well, I don't even think we can formulate a question out of that other than who would you think would be a good Doctor? You know, of actors known or unknown, I guess.
Who was the best Doctor out of current?
Well,
Like,
who was the best
recent
Doctor
actors?
ever? Like,
I don't know if ever, because I haven't watched all of them. That's a lot of Doctor Who.
yeah, 50
Show-
years worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Because, 50th anniversary this year, which I do have a 50th anniversary 6-scale figure of David Tennant ordered up from
Nice.
whatever. Oh, hell yeah. I collect some goofy stuff, and that's
the
definitely
next
one
time-
thing I'll keep.
The next time I'm at that place, if they have a TARDIS cookie jar, I am buying it and mailing it to you.
I found a guy that actually makes like a 6-scale TARDIS. Lights up, makes a sound, everything else. Weighs like 50 pounds because it's all made of wood. And I'm like,
That's-
I want this. And of course the wife was like,
The thing
why?
I saw was maybe 10 inches tall,
Yeah.
and when you opened it up to get a cookie, it made the noise. Yeah.
I had to fill it with like healthy snacks, not cookies.
Screw that. Fill it with M&Ms.
Oh god.
I want to feel less nerdy here. I want to go play with my lightsabers.
Oh my god.
How does that make you less nerdy?
I don't know. I'd go wake my daughter up and have her play with me. We could have lightsaber battles.
Sad thing is I can actually envision this happening.
No, it does happen. That's the funny thing. My wife has video of it on her phone.
Oh jeez. All right, that's something we need to get added to the channel. What's your wife's number?
No, fuck that.
Oh, come on. We've all done embarrassing things.
Oh no, I will admit to it, but I'm not gonna have it uploaded to YouTube for the world to see.
What are you talking about the world? There might be a couple dozen people who watch this, if that. What are you talking about the world?
Dude, that shit would go viral so fast.
And then we'd all be famous. Well, at least you would be.
Yeah, at most you'd maybe get 500-600 views.
Oh,
Probably
shit.
more.
Nah, these videos don't get that many views, which is sad. But hey, if we keep doing them, maybe people will
Yeah,
stick around.
but for something like that, I would tell everyone I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just have to mention it to my dad once, and he would account for about 10,000 views.
Oh, well.
Like, I would link it to everyone I just finished school with, and they would link it to everyone they know, and it would just spread like wildfire.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. All right, in the comments, if you want to see this thing of Rabid Gorilla having a lightsaber battle with his 3.5-year-old daughter, say something about it in the comments. Say anything you want about it. I don't care. Just acknowledge that you've made it this far into the video and want to see that. If enough comments happen, we might find a way to make something happen with it. Maybe. No guarantees. We might have to like go to where he's at and beat him up and take his wife's phone or something. I don't know. But we'll figure it out.
I hate you guys.
I've got a graduation gift coming that could totally be a flight. Just saying.
Oh my god, I hate you guys so much.
Onward to Rabbit's house. Alright, so any closing remarks to what we've had? This has kind of definitely been unfocused. I mean, we've been kind of all over the place a little bit. I think there were notes of talking points, and we've completely just missed them all. So maybe next week we'll have a little bit. I don't know, something.
All I want to end on is it's bigger on the inside.
Star Wars for life!
I would say live long and prosper. So with that, thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, we'll probably see you again next week.
I hate you guys.